I voted for Trump and I'm sorry. I am uneducated. I grew up in public school system. I believed anything a teacher and a principal told me, and I didn't question it, and I walked in a straight line, and I didn't use critical thinking skills, okay? I didn't read Project 2025. I have a disabled child. I'm a single mom of 3. I believed what he said in his campaigns, and I fucked up, and I'm sorry, okay? Now, we're wanting accountability across the board. It starts with the people like me that made a mistake. I'm admitting it. The first step to progressing in anything is admitting that there is a problem. There was a problem in my judgment. I did not do my due diligence in my research, and I voted in a system that I had not enough awareness and knowledge of until shit started hitting the fan. So if you come for me in the comments and you start all of this hatred, because what we have right now are the people that voted for Trump and that are hiding and that they don't agree, like me, like I was until I'm making this video right now. And then we have the people that didn't vote, and then we have the people that voted for someone else, okay? And then most of all, what we have are citizens of the United States, we the people, complaining that this administration needs to take accountability. We start by leading by example, okay? So if you come for me in the comments with hatred and resentment, because what you have is a resentment for the people that voted for this, that you're a part of the problem. Please accept my apology so we can unite, come together, and move on. Let's lead by example. I fucked up.
Apologists, especially white apologists, Hispanic apologists, and black apologists, are the sorriest group of people that I've ever seen in my entire life. Nobody can tell me who it is that I can and can't vote for. I am not a person that is going to continue to have a conversation based off of the court of public opinion. I am going to do the best thing that's in the interest of my family, that's in the best interest of my community, and that is in the best interest of myself. Nobody owes anybody an explanation, and I'd be damned if we back in high school and somebody is trying to bully somebody and tell somebody what it is that they can and can't do. You crazy. You out of your mind. I voted for Trump, and he's delivering on every single campaign promise that he said that he was going to do. And it's a shame that this woman is going viral for being bullied, and at the same time, she don't even know how to stand up for herself. This is wrong. This is what's wrong for a lot of people that are native to this country, or that was born into this country and whose parents is born into this country, and people that actually stand up for the American flag. I was watching different people get mad at service members and service member wives over the 4th of July that proudly celebrated the American flag and paraphernalia, and they on their hats and their scarves and their clothes wearing red, white, and blue. And so these traitors, these people that are here in the United States of America on American soil, who are advocating for people that if you go over to Mexico City, they will tell you to get out. If you go over to any of these places, Ukraine, if you go over to Iran, if you go over to any of these places that they're celebrating, they don't even want you there. They don't even celebrate your liberal Democrat ways. They are completely against you, and they absolutely positively would do more than just remove your right to vote. They would absolutely take you out, depending on what the circumstance is and depending on what you said. So these freedoms that we celebrate, that we want to go against as a result of celebrating and embracing and saying thank you to our military members, our police officers, our firefighters, our servicemen, for the people that stand up for America, for our federal government and our workers, as far as the ones that's getting all of these illegal immigrants out of here and stuff like that, to see people disrespect them is the most anti-American. And I'm telling you, we are the last of a dying breed as far as the people that are willing to save this country and the people that are willing to stand up for what's right. Because I grew up in the 80s, born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, and I remember a time where it didn't really matter who you were. You all stood for the American flag. You all stood and pledged allegiance in school. We had our prayers in school, and so we've gotten so far removed from the core of what made us great in the first place. And when Trump came back through and said, "Make America Great Again," it was almost like, man, I can't even believe this is a real thing. When Trump first started running in 2014, 15, 16, it was like, nah, this can't even be real, because we had gotten so far off path and so far off that eventually they tried to assassinate him multiple different times publicly that we know, and we don't know how many times that they tried to that we're not familiar with, because he won't even speak on it. And to see it happen in real time on TV and stuff like that, to think back, that is a time where I'm going to go back and say, man, I know exactly where I was when I seen what was happening, and I seen it and I watched it because we was watching a speech and it was in the middle of the campaign, and I wound up driving all the way back to, I didn't drive, I actually caught the train because I was in downtown Detroit, and I caught the train back to my studio, and then I did a live stream and we had a conversation about it. But the reality of it is this, is that to see people that don't stand on what it is that they believe, and that they allow for the internet, the goddamn internet, and their algorithm tell them what to do, is crazy to me. It is the wildest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. You a grown, you got kids. You got kids, and you gonna let people on the internet tell you what to do. And I'm not even saying it just from a conservative or a Republican perspective, because I am a person that, thank God, I escaped the Democrat plantation. But the fact of the matter is, to see people apologizing, and they're grown with kids talking about, I didn't read this or this and that. Oh, I'm sorry. And we have to take accountability, and we can't hide. Ain't nobody hiding. We right here. We've been having this conversation for a long time. And the thing about it is that everything that Trump campaigned on, from the big, beautiful bill to getting rid of illegal migrants out of the United States of America, to making sure that he removed diversity, equity, and inclusion and making it a merit-based system, to making sure that he keep the Trump tax cuts in place, to ensuring that he hold these universities accountable, to making sure that we not continuing to run in the victim Olympics, to putting tariffs on other countries and all of this stuff, to making sure that he renegotiate with China, to lower inflation, to make us richer when it comes to the people that are invested inside of the stock market and all of this stuff. When we look at all of the things and so much more that he's accomplished in the last 6 months, and you're going to tell me that he didn't deliver, he 100% delivered on every single thing already within 6 months, before we even get into 1 year into his term, before we can say, yo, 365 days has passed since he's got into the office and he took his oath to the United States of America for the second time on Inauguration Day. I was there in Washington. It was a beautiful sight to see that he actually stood up for black people and birthright citizenship, instead of continuing to allow for people to be able to use a loophole and get into the United States of America, and not really pledge allegiance to the fact, to see that he's actually holding people accountable in the Lincoln Riley Act that actually destroyed and killed an American citizen, a little girl, a young girl, and they were illegal migrants. To see that he's actually making sure that our tax dollars are used appropriately in order to bring American jobs back to the United States of America while giving people tax breaks. To see that he's actually standing up for what's right for America and forcing people to come over here legally instead of taking advantage of the system, to right size the government so that we'll have lower taxes, to actually addressing the issues at hand and being there every single day. He has made himself available to the media and allowed for them to ride on a plane and hold them accountable and have conversations with them, even when he don't necessarily agree with them. That is a real president, and we've needed it a long time, instead of Sleepy Joe, goddamn Kamala Harris, and for God's sakes, Biden, that was probably running the White House while Biden or Obama, that was running the White House, or his wife Jill, while he was in office. Sleepy Joe walking off into the Amazon. None of the leaders respected him. Crazy. Got peace, a ceasefire between Iran and Israel. Crazy. Get the hell out of here. I always like to give credit to the content creator, so that link is going to be in the description. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all.